February 18th is a day Kai Rizzuto will never forget, because that's the day he landed a Granduer, a Pacific Blue Marlin weighing over 1,000 pounds. Kai landed the Marlin just outside of Kailua Kona, but he resides in New York City, where we spoke with him via the internet.
So the Granduer was your very first Marlin?
The Granduer was my very first Marlin, yes.
For Captain McGrew Rice, February 18th started out as a normal day on board the Ihunui.
Just a regular day, and my deckhand Carlton got Kai in the chair. We were just trolling home on the way home, and all of a sudden I heard Carlton yell, "Big fish."
He immediately stood up and said, "Big fish, Kai, let's go." So we run out. The fish was tail walking on the surface, like going nuts.
Probably jumped 25, 30 times.
I hopped in the fighting chair, and he brought the rod over to me, and we started fighting the fish, and we went after that fish hard it was only a half an hour fight.
It was 30 minutes, but it probably felt like an hour and a half to him.
We did what's called the pump and wind method. So you pull up on the rod with your entire body. You use your legs to like push against the it's almost like a footrest. So you push up and pump back, and then you wind on the way down.
It's technique and strength, and we had to put a lot of drag, which is a lot of pressure on Kai, on that fish, because when you get a big fish like that, if you don't put the pressure, a fish will catch its second wind, and you'll be there for days and you'll probably not catch it.
You don't want to give the fish any time that he or she can just pull the line. You got to keep the line tight at all times. So that's what I had that running in the back of my head. Keep the line tight, keep the line tight.
You got chances of hooks to pull out, or you got a chance of the line to wear out.
I knew it was a big fish, and I heard Carlton in my ear saying like, "Oh, that's over 8. That's 8 plus." So we knew it was like 800 plus.
I had to turn and chase the line down one time, and that entitles me keeping the boat as close to the fish as possible. So we tried to stay as close to the fish as possible, and that's me maneuvering the boat to the fish.
Some of the angles that he hit, I had no idea that you could maneuver a boat so perfectly.
I'm watching the fish and the angler at the same time.
It's tiring, man. It's probably one of the most strenuous activities that you can do.
Did you want to give up?
No, never.
You were determined to finish it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one of the characteristics of the Rizzuto family. We're always very determined.
Nice. Nice.
Catching a Granduer is like hitting a Grand Slam home run.
Maybe if I didn't have all the help and the coaching that I had from Carlton, I might not have actually landed the fish, or it could have cost me an extra couple hundred of yards.
He was awesome. He was so excited because he knows fishing. He'd been fishing with his grandfather since he was 2 years old, and he knew what he had gotten was an exceptional catch.
We hooked the fish up and we weighed it, and we got the final number that it was 1058, and it was immediate relief, joy, and excitement from me.
A grin from ear to ear, and Jim, as his grandfather, was the happiest I've ever seen Jim in my life. Not an official record, but he's the youngest person to catch a marlin over 1,000 pounds.
So it's not like a world record fish, but if nobody had touched the rod, it would have been a junior record.
So the next time you bring up a 30-pound mahi-mahi, people are going to say, "Is that it?"
There's definitely never going to be another experience like that, especially considering that it's my first one. I'll still value every experience that I have catching a smaller fish, and I'll use it to help me learn.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer family. Yeah. I mean, the whole fishing community was happy for Jim, and I'm glad I was the one able to help them catch that fish.
I can't fathom what I did. Like, I can't imagine how I did it. All I can say is that all my experience paid off.
And it paid off in a grand way. 16-year-old Kai Rizzuto and his 1,058-pound Pacific Blue Marlin.